It was 2005 and I had recently purchased my first four-wheel drive and was doing my first trip to the Northern Territory of all places. I had had minimum preparation and my total experience was a weekend in the sandhills near Perth, as documented in episode 1 of this series. In episode 6, I had been caught in a face flood, had travelled at night time over a bush track to reach the Plenty Road, and subsequently wound up at Tea Tree in the middle of the night. Today I would approach Barrow Creek, change my mind again, and detour via Barkly Homestead to Cape Crawford, through where I plan to go to Borroloola. But I spoke to some guys who were going fishing at Limmen Bight, so I changed my mind and that's where I went. And I don't fish. And it was crocodile-infested waters. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's do it. Okay, well, it's just gone 9 o'clock and we're just coming into Barrow Creek. Now, the countryside's been fairly flat and every now and again you just come into these little hilly type regions. And the towns up the Stuart Hwy, few and far between. And it's the first of them that we've come across this morning. Barrow Creek. Next one I think is Wycliffe Well. I think we're heading for Tennant Creek, but we're looking at the Devil's Marbles this morning as well. So this is Barrow Creek Roadhouse. The caravan park. It's only when you get up close and have a look at this place that you realise just the uniqueness of the place. This is the Barrow Creek Hotel. This is the Roadhouse. How old's that one? There always goes one at 11. Yeah, it appears as though there's a tradition of signing notes, that's money notes, putting them on the wall in this place. Maybe a small little store, but it's different. Okay, it appears the story with the notes is that the ringers used to come in, have a beer or three. Before they left, they'd leave a 10 bob note with their name on it on the wall, so that at least they had, if they came in, they had some money to drink with. Well, of course, the tradition has followed on now that travellers just come in, put their $5 up on the wall with their name on it. The idea is that if they ever come back again, then they've got a drink. And if you want to have a bit of a game on the pinball things, they're here. Pool table, all out in this open type chair. All amazing stuff. This is the old Barrow Creek telegraph station. It's one of only 4 remaining intact between Adelaide and Darwin. Got a gorge running back there. And guess what? Here comes the rain again. It's really following me around. Oh, the vagaries of it all. Okay, it's skies have got patches of blue, patches of white, and then bloody black heavy stuff which is full of water. This on the side is typical desert country out here, up the Stuart Hwy, and then broken up only by the occasional hills and things. The desert country here is It's red dirt and this low stunted growth, small trees, spin effects, that sort of stuff. But for a road with 3,000 kilometres long, this one is extremely busy. This bloke coming along here. Yeah, had a truck go past me not long back. He had 4 trailers. It's a field truck. Okay, this is Wycliffe Well. All the aliens and everything around the service station. Now, Wycliffe Well is where most UFO sightings are reported in Australia. Happens out here all the time, but things always happen around this place. The main highway just runs past. Got a little slip road here. Now, I've done what I was told not to do. I actually picked someone up off the side of the road. Lady had a little car with the bonnet lifted, and we stopped and checked it out, and yeah, she'd blown the motor. So I gave her a lift in. Her son, her grandson, staying with the car. He wants to get to Darwin to play a rugby match, and yeah, it all went horribly wrong. Anyhow, we dropped her off. They're organising for a tow truck to go back and pick it up, and they're on their way to the next stop. Okay, this is Wauchope. And one of these road houses just set off to the side of the road and go past. The old Dutch lid. Okay, so we've got this sort of countryside around here, and all of a sudden on the side of the road you've got this. This is the Devil's Marbles. We're going to pull in there shortly. This is the Devil's Marbles Conservation Reserve. All of a sudden there's all these big round rocks. Not only these big round rocks, some of them are actually balancing on each other. You really do have to ask yourself, why is it all of a sudden something totally different happens like this? I mean, this really doesn't make sense, does it? I guess it all has to do with erosion, but maybe it's these aliens that come into Wycliffe back there that actually put these things here. It's amazing. I mean, there really is nothing much there to stop that thing starting to roll down that hill. Or those for that matter. I'm standing above them. But when you look at the surrounding countryside, there's nothing there to suggest that this phenomenon should stay in the middle of it. Oh, there's just rocks everywhere. Even your newspaper's not safe. Well, that's it. So that's the Devil's Marbles. Now we're heading for Tennant Creek. These are termite mounds, and there's literally hundreds, well, thousands of them along the sides of the road. That's either side of the road. This is just a small patch. I've been watching them for the last 20 or 30 kilometres. So how many termites are there actually running as well? Okay, we're now approaching Tennant Creek. And Tennant Creek is the home of the regional centre of the Barkly Tanleland. This is certainly a bit different to what we've been looking at down the road as we've been coming along. Actually looks almost urban. Even traffic lights. Touch of Kalgoorlie about this place. I wouldn't expect a lot to be happening up here today because it's a public holiday. It's Queen's birthday in the Northern Territory, in fact in the eastern states. So we had our public holiday a couple of weeks ago. Last week, in fact, I think it was. This is the main street at Tennant Creek, by the looks of things. As far as I can see, there's only about one hill in town. Look, there's a bloody house built on top of it. Okay, we're now exiting Tennant Creek, just some of the countryside around here. I'm going to make a departure from as planned or from the planning. Instead of going straight up the Stuart Highway, I've decided to go across the Barkly Highway and have a look at some of the tableland country over there. So I'm just going to go a little bit further east than what I anticipated. Okay, as it says, this is the Tennant Creek telegraph station. This little shelter here is where the meat and everything, the veggies were all kept. They cooked them, and this was the smokehouse where the meat was cured. And this is the homestead and living quarters. Shop and the smithy and the butcher all in one building. This is inside the butcher's rooms, including the old chopping block, the cool room, hanging rails, and his little back room. And of course the blacksmith shop. It's been a bit warm working out here, I'd suggest. And through there, of course, the meteorological box, from whence they would check the rain and the wind and temperatures. And of course the patch of lawn just to keep everybody entertained. Well, Tennant Creek has a major formed road out through normal type countryside to a place they call the Pebbles. It seems to finish here. I assume this rock formation is what they're talking about. I don't see that as terribly unusual. Maybe I'm missing something. There's nothing here to tell us anything about it. But I think they probably feel a little hard done by not having the devil's marbles here. Now there are four-wheel drive tracks from here on into the country, so maybe there's more there, but we're going to get moving. We're heading for the Barkly Tanleland. Okay, we're coming up to the Three Ways Roadhouse. We're going to turn right and get in the Barkly Highway. That takes us to Alice Springs, to Mount Isa at least, and the Barkly Homestead. We're not going to Mount Isa, but we will go down here. The roadhouse is just up the road. We're going around here, and we're going to do a detour around through the tablelands. Well, this is Barkly Homestead. Looks like a pretty decent sort of setup here. Okay, now this I didn't expect to see this morning. Far as the eye can see, it's just like that. All floodway. And after 80 kilometres of the other type of land I just showed you, now all of a sudden you've got vegetation happening. Then back to this. And despite this, all this open space, still see dead cattle on the side of the road where people managed to clean them up. How the hell I don't see them, I have no idea, even at night time. This is my first look at the eagles since we got up here. There's a little dead marsupial on the road, and I've just disturbed these blokes. One just sitting in the tree there. He's waiting for me to move. Okay, now after running on plains country for about the last 280 kilometres, all of a sudden now, as we approach Cape Crawford, about 100 kilometres out from Cape Crawford, and we've got the Abner Range coming up on the right hand side, and we will have the Favance Range in front of us. So expect to see some better country now, well, some different country, hills again. This road's just rough as shit. Okay, we're approaching Cape Crawford, running between two hills, and this ground down here, it's almost like well, a river plain. The trees growing in it. Whether it is or not, I don't know, but again, the scenery has finally sort of changed. It's been a little different here and there between the flat plains that we had, then flat plains with bush, back to desert type stuff. Now straight ahead of us there, the range behind the trees, there's the trees in the flat, and then the hills sort of rise above it. Oh, this is a little different. This is quite nice around here. I woke up this morning, I recharged the battery last night, but somehow or other I managed to leave the camera on and stuffed up the battery flat, so I don't know how much I've got today. We'll see if we can't do a bit of recharging at lunchtime. This is around the Cape Crawford area. Okay, this is the MacArthur River. Actually passed over the MacArthur River quite a way back, so it's got water in it too, what's more. So that's where I'm coming into Cape Crawford now. I don't know why it's called Cape Crawford, it's a long way inland still. Still got a fair bit to go to get to the Gulf. But I commented on the road being rough as fairly rough back there, and it's bitumen, but it pitched the car no end at highway speed, so yeah, it was rough. It's quite delightful through here. Okay, this is Cape Crawford. Chopper on the right. Too busy looking at the chopper, and of course I drove right past the turn in, which brings us in here to buy fuel and stuff. Welcome to Heartbreak Hotel. Okay, we're in Cape Crawford at the moment, and this is the Heartbreak Hotel. Sitting on a chair there, that's Matt, who was a West Aussie, and he's about to tell us what the theory is behind why this place is called Cape Crawford.
The reason is the guy that built this pub, he went and bought all the products and materials out here to build it, and then his missus ran off with a ringer. So there's a lot of heartbreak, that was the reason.
Well, there you go. Why the place is called Cape Crawford, who knows, but still it doesn't matter. Okay, another change of plan. I was going to go out through Burralula, but caught up with the boys. It's Jeff, Bob, I think it was, and John, who I camped next to last night, and they're going to a place called Limmen Bight River. It's a fishing camp. So that's up towards Roper. So I've decided to go up and have a boat peep at that, and then go across to Mankara, I think it is, from there. So I'm going to miss Daily Waters. Mataranka, I think, is where I'm heading for after that. Anyway, let's give it a fly, see what happens. Just had lunch in at Cape Crawford, and recharged the battery a wee bit more on this video camera, so hopefully we'll be able to go. Roper River 365. This hasn't been a bad road generally. We've been sort of rolling through forest area. Well, it's a forest, it's a low scrubland, but currently in a bit of hilly type country, and a bit of wildfire activity been happening on the right, and every now and again there's a washout. So obviously there's been some rain up here, and the other thing too is there's quite a few creek beds that we're having to go through, and they've got water in them. So I didn't think they'd had rain up this far, but I guess we'll find out what's been happening. This is generally the type of area we've been going through, but at the moment we're a little elevated because we're actually up on the hillside, sort of running around the outside of the valley. There's the road down there continuing around the corner and up the hill again on that side where the fires have been. Believe it or not, this is the same road. Now it's just widened out. There's just a track across a paddock a couple of seconds ago, so this is going to a fishing spot, I suppose, but anyway, here we go, back to a little narrow road again. Never in my wildest dreams when I left Perth did I imagine I'd be driving this sort of thing. This is the best thing I've ever done. Okay, running alongside the road right at the moment, it's an airstrip. So the local station owner obviously has put the airstrip in here. Come to think on the map it's shown as an airstrip, so we're pretty much spot on with the odometer as to where we're going. The windsock, not a lot of breeze at the moment. Okay, this is one of those creek crossings we told you about with the water in, so we just got to proceed through with care. Okay, this is the Limmen Bight River. At this point it's fresh. There is a causeway there which I have to go through, and apparently the last 3 or 4 days it's dropped about 2 or 3 feet. The river continues up there. Probably the important part of it now is I'm in crocodile country. The guys who come for the fishing, they've got themselves parked in the bush around here. Just up through there. But we're going to keep going. Looks like a way to go before we get to camp. See, off the main road now and heading up towards the inlet where the fishing takes place, and we're about halfway. Well, not quite halfway there, but we're getting there. We're now running alongside part of the inlet, or the river, or whatever you like to call it. It actually is an inlet. Okay, this is the Limmen Bight River Fishing Camp, and there are conditions of entry, general personal fish possession limits, there's other controls and advice, tells you about the controls on barramundi and mud crabs, general controls there. It doesn't tell you about how many crocodiles you can catch, of course. Okay, this is private property, but there are gates, and of course there are cattle. Okay, this is Limmen Bight camp, fishing camp. It's the inlet there.
You just come in here, you camp for the night, cost you $10 to camp. There's the three boys and their setup. And of course I've just arrived, so. Well, it's Wednesday morning, it's 6:30 in the morning. It's almost time for sunup. And it's the 15th of June, I think, which means it's Susie's birthday today. I've got to try and get somewhere to get in touch with her, because there's no communication out here. This is the Limmen Bight River, or inlet. I'm sitting on the roof of my car filming this beautiful, beautiful morning. It's a pity about the crows, but I just thought I'd just have a listen to some of the bird life at this time of the morning. Beautiful. Beautiful scenes early in the morning. What better first class can you get than this? Breakfast out on the banks of the Limmen Bight Inlet in the Northern Territory. Birds are chirping, sun's just rising. It's a beautiful morning. Got a lot of things in front of us today. Okay, Limmen Bight camping area is where a lot of fishermen come to actually launch their boats at this point. We're about 40k from the actual ocean proper, but if you come here, you can launch your boats, which they do, and they go fishing upstream for barramundi and all those sorts of things. It was a very warm night here last night. Slept on the roof. Tried to come to terms with the concept of the swag, but gee whiz, it was like sleeping in an oven. I ended up opening it up, spraying myself liberally with Paragard, and slept with the top open for most of the night. Slept like a bomb. Woke up a couple of times during the night, but no problems getting back to sleep again. So this is Limmen Bight. We're now heading towards Roper Bar. As you can see, all the fishing guys are pretty keen here. Drag their vans and things in. Some of them just use tents. I just paid my fees on the way out and having a quick chat with the young guy there, and I asked him about crocodiles. He says, yeah, he said they do come up here. The ranger was out and picked one up out of a crocodile trap the other day. Said that the croc was rather cheeky. So seems as though they've got things pretty much under control up here, as long as you're not stupid. We're on the Savannah Way. We're heading towards Roper's Bar. These ruins are standing on the side of the road, and supposedly there's a lagoon just down the hill. Let's go and have a look. Well, this is the lagoon. Normally apparently it's covered in lilies, but whether it's the season or what, I don't know. Supposed to be a lot of water life. Really is sort of hidden in here. Certainly down this end of the lagoon, and I've moved towards the western end of it. Certainly see those leaves out there on the water. Strange thing is, if we hadn't stopped to look at those police rounds up the top and read the signs, we wouldn't even know this was here. It's not very well signposted. When I read the map, it is actually listed on the map. They do tell us about it, but it's not actually listed as a site. Beautiful. This is the eastern end of the lagoon, looking right back down from where I just took that last shot from. Few birds and things at play over there. Okay, time to move on. Well, it's now 12 o'clock. I've been caught up with some people from Bustleton, would you believe, for the last hour or so talking, and that was Tom and Margaret, and then there was a couple turned up from Perth. So we've all been having a chin wag. Okay, we're on our way now, heading to Wycliffe Well. Now you're out in the middle of nowhere, on a dirt road, and all of a sudden Tent City springs up. Yep, there's a river over there, and they're all fishing. Doesn't say where we're at, but that's what's happening. Okay, I've got a feeling this is Roper River. There's the crocodile sign. These people are going fishing. Look at the width of that river. Look at the amount of water that's in there. Huge. They're going fishing. Well, this is the Roper Bar store. You know why? I guess there's a good reason for that. Yep, let's go and do what we got to do. Well, this is the Roper Bar. The Roper River comes in, goes through that there, and then continues on out to the sea. The boats are launched just here, and people go fishing up in this area. Again, crocodiles, very much in vogue. Now, Roper Bar, the shop, $1.60 for diesel. It's a very interesting store. It's got absolutely everything in there. But it's very interesting that so far the three dearest prices I've had to pay for fuel anywhere in Australia have been at Aboriginal owned community stores, or Aboriginal community owned stores. Yes, the prices are because it's dear to ship it in, but it's not the remotest places I've been to, and the fuel's been a lot cheaper elsewhere. Okay, moving on. Come over the top of the hill, that's looking at me. This is near Roper Bar. More of the same. Unfortunately, there's not enough film or enough time to actually film everything that we see along the track. I can't see on the map what that is, but it just rises straight up out of the ground. This is all Roper River country. Really quite glorious up here. Okay, we've just been climbing a mountain range, stream of hills, and from what I can see this is the High Black Range. So that's where we are at the current time, the High Black Range, and coming over the top of the pass, that's what it looks like. Certainly a little different to what we've been running through. Around the corner and this wedge-tail's there eating something and he took off, so I turned around and come back, just having a little look. There's 2 or 3 others hanging around as well, but they're up in the sky somewhere at the moment. See if we get just a bit closer. Well, you heard me coming. All of a sudden, these little waterways along the way on the side of the road, the floodways, the rivers, got palm trees growing on. I've noticed with a few now. And there's plenty of water in there too, what's more. Keep them alive. Well, the appropriate way to end this bit of videotape is we are at Mataranka. Right, so you're going to have a quick look through here, look for some fuel and stuff. There's a place here on the State of Origin match tonight. Shell station, not doing a lot of business.
If you enjoyed this video, there are over 400 more just like it on this channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell and we'll let you know when our next video is available. If you like this video, hit the like button and maybe even leave a comment. If you weren't too impressed, then the dislike button tells us absolutely nothing. So tell us why, so that we can do something about it. Thanks for watching.